Hello guys, welcome again. So new live stream today. So okay, let's talk about Bitcoin in 4 hour chart. Why in 4 hour chart? Because well, as I said, well, actually, I think I posted here in my private channels in the short term. There is a bullish divergence as you can see here from this point and this point, and well, the entry was around this area. Yes, around 27,300, around 400 around there. And now where is where is Bitcoin right now is where, in this case, I'm using VWAP system. And as you can see here, from this high here, the VWAP is around $28,400. Now, the question is, okay, so this bouncing right now all in, right, to the moon? No, I think you should be very, very careful here. Why? Because, well, if you are thinking to go long here because it's looking green and powerful, I think you should think twice. The reason is because this bounce here should be a sell opportunity in one day chart, of course. In one day chart, we don't have a buy signal, so not yet. So I'm expecting a pullback here, but just in case, right? Like if Bitcoin just keeps pumping here, the maximum level I am looking for is the macro VWAP here around $29,000, and from there I will start looking for shorts again. So looking for something like this, right? So looking for something like this, bouncing here, and after that continuation, following the sell signaling weekly chart. Now let me show you here in one day chart how it's looking here. I am using this system right now. Why? Because, well, we have this VWAP here in the long term, right? Just the last time when we contested this VWAP was in March 2022, April around there, yes, so 1 year ago. So this VWAP is very, very, very important. Technically speaking, as long as Bitcoin is below here, well, technically speaking, we are just in a bear market. In macro, of course, thinking in macro time frames, right? So right now here, Bitcoin was in sideways for 1 month, yes, above this VWAP, and after that finally broke this VWAP, and now it's gonna test. Now, if everything is okay, the move is gonna be like this, right? Something like this, you see the VWAP is bouncing here. This is the bounce, maximum maybe 30k around there, no more than that. I am expecting highs, just I'm expecting after that, I am looking for continuation to the downside, where level by level here using volume profile, then first target should be around $25,000. But honestly, I don't think so. I think Bitcoin will hit a potential in the long term, right? The long term, I am looking for 20k around this area. But as I said before, even if we see Bitcoin drop into this area, everything should be fine, because in one day chart, of course, using this system is in uptrend. I know with my traditional system, of course, the big MA55 is around here, the one day chart. Remember, I have two systems right now, where this time I decided to start with this one because, well, people are asking me many times how I am trading with this. So right now, in the 4 hour chart, I was in long position here, honestly, around $27,300 around there. But, you know, in Japan was very late, around 2 a.m. And honestly, I didn't want to sleep too late. So I canceled my position here. Well, I missed the move, right? So never mind. Always there is a new opportunity. Now, let's talk about something very important here. We have this bullish divergence in 4 hour chart, yes, but we don't have bullish divergence in 12 hour chart, as you can see here. This is just a bounce here, as you can see here. There is no buy signal, bullish divergence. So in 12 hour chart, I'm looking for an extension, yes, for around $29,300 around there. From there, maybe a pullback. Now, if we see $29,000, I am looking for Bitcoin maybe next week, I think, because today is Friday, or maybe, yes, Wednesday. Maybe next week we are gonna see potential a buy signal here. But the question is, if Bitcoin is still, let me clear this chart. It's very simple. Bitcoin cannot break this level, around $27,000. If you see a break, we can see some weeks, right? Maybe $26,000, 500, 600 is totally fine. But the point here is, like, you are thinking, oh, I'm missing the move. No, I don't think so. This move it wasn't just 4 hour chart, I think. The real move for Bitcoin is coming maybe next week, as long as it's holding $27,000 region. So looks like Bitcoin is forming a range. where this is the bottom, and potentially this area is going to be the top around here between 29 and 30K. Bitcoin potential is going to be again in sideways, just like a ping pong, right? Doing this, something like this. But in my humble opinion, Bitcoin in the long term, with this signal in weekly chart, as you can see here, there is a very good chance, for example, here, there is a very good chance Bitcoin will hit eventually around 22, 20K. That is the long-term area I am looking for a potential bounce. Something like this, right? Let me show you here, something like this. And after that, continuation. Now, I am not bearish on Bitcoin in the long term. I am not. I have to be very honest with you. I am not bearish. If you are thinking Bitcoin will hit 10K or that kind of things, well, maybe you are watching too many YouTubers, I think, or crypto Twitter, right? Many experts there. Of course, I am not expert, but at least I have a system. So as Bitcoin is in uptrend, okay, simple, in 1-day chart, of course. If you want to see uptrend in weekly chart, you have to see Bitcoin above 50K. This is the area. I mean, if you want to see Bitcoin in uptrend, you want to see Bitcoin breaking 50K and coming here again, pull back, and after that, just continuation. But it will take years. I mean, maybe all this year. I don't see Bitcoin at 50K this year, actually. Maximum 36, 34K, and after that, maybe continuation to the downside. But right now, Bitcoin is still in uptrend, so I am looking for, of course, a pullback, right? In the macro timeframes, it's going to be nasty, right? With the lowest point potential is going to be around 22, even 20K, but it's totally fine for me because in the long term, for me, is clear, is to the upside. And the reason is simple, is because, well, monthly is, we have a buy signal here, fresh, historically speaking. Every time when we have this buy signal, technically speaking, the bull market started. Of course, it will take years. It's not tomorrow, right? It's not like, oh yeah, okay, bull market right now, all in 100x, and to the moon I will be millionaire. No, of course not. This chart, it will take maybe an average around 2 years to play. So this year and next year. So all of this is around 2 years. So from this point, we started last month. Imagine like maybe in summer next year, around there, maybe summer around here, potentially here we are gonna be in maybe Bitcoin, sorry, is gonna be maybe around 75 or 80K, following this pattern, right? But as I said before, I am not looking for 200K, 300K, 500. Of course not. And the trend is very obvious what is happening with Bitcoin. Every time when Bitcoin is pumping, it's losing steam and it's reversing the trend. So potentially here, we will see Bitcoin, of course, in very cheap in some point, but I don't think we will see that in this year. Actually, I don't think so. Now, I'm gonna show you a new time frame, like bi-weekly chart. Usually I don't use it, but it's very interesting. Why? Because actually I was playing with this time frame. For this time frame, I'm gonna use my current system, like traditional system, because I think it's more clear here. Let me show you here the bi-weekly chart. A bi-weekly chart is very, very interesting. Why? Because, well, first of all here, let me show you here. Every time when we have this buy signal here, let me show you here, 1 second here, yes. This buy signal here, historically speaking, right? Historically speaking, of course, after in the long term, right? In the long term here, yes. Here is an exception here because we have sideways instead, and here, and also here. Well, as you can see here, most of the time, just one time, this signal failed. Where? Here, right? Instead of bouncing here, it was just sideways and after a crash, right? But in general here, every time when we have this buy signal here in bi-weekly chart, we have a momentum for at least 2 years, right? At least 2 years. So this is like pre-confirmation of buy signal in monthly. Now, the thing here, why I want to show you here is not this one, is the volume. The volume here, technically speaking, in bi-weekly chart, Bitcoin is not getting rejected, actually it's testing right now. So if we see in May Bitcoin getting rejected by this point, here, maybe in May, potentially we will see a test, but as long as it's about the center line here, looks like it's forming a basement, something like this, like 2019, 2020. So what I'm trying to say is, in the long term, if you are thinking you are missing something, honestly I don't think so. I think Bitcoin will just do something like this, right, like this, and just sideways here, and it's gonna be boring for many people here for maybe all the rest of the year, potentially, right? And here, my friend, is, well, it's going to be the next phase for accumulation, where I am looking for this leg up here in the long term. So as I said before, people, they are asking me, oh, Bitcoin will hit 10k or 14k or even 7k, or I don't know, whatever. Respectfully, I can tell you are wrong. Of course, based on my system, right, of trading, there is a very low probability to see Bitcoin at 10k, 14k. Now, level by level, right? Level by level. The thing here is like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks 24k, you will see 20k. Now, the problem here is like, okay, well, I will start buying that argument, like maybe Bitcoin will hit 10k if Bitcoin breaks, and not just breaks, close below 20k. Any close below 20k, game over for Bitcoin, and yes, you will see 10k, 9k, or whatever. But as long as Bitcoin is about 20k in the long term, it's totally fine. But honestly, I don't think that is going to happen. Why? Because even we have here in the 3-month chart, why I'm showing this micro time frames is because I am trying to show you, like, in micro time frames now we have bullish setups here. For example, here Bitcoin broke the MA55, the MA21 here for 6 months, as you can see here. But now finally, with this candle here, close about there. So it's very normal. We can see maybe a pullback here, but this candle is telling me, well, this is area of support in the long term. Looks like Bitcoin, there is a very good chance, like, to see continuation and following this MA21. Now, if I show you the 6-month chart, it's a very long-term time frame. Bitcoin didn't test the MA21. It was a 14k. Okay, never mind. But it's bouncing here. So as long as Bitcoin is closing in summer, so the Q2 of this year, as long as Bitcoin is closing about 20k, as you can see here, 20k is the key level here. 20k, okay? 20k. As long as Bitcoin is closing after summer about 20k, everything should be fine, and you will see Bitcoin at 50k maybe maximum this year. So the thing here is that I cannot be like bearish right now, even in the long term, because price action is clear. Bitcoin is respecting the trend. It's not looking very strong like before. Of course not. I think Bitcoin is gonna reverse in some point. But if you're looking for Bitcoin at 10k this year, well, keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. Okay, so let's talk about now 1-day chart. Here, Bitcoin is bouncing here, but this bounce here is just a 4-hour chart bounce. That's it, okay? Now, what I'm looking for right now is, in 1-day chart, I want to see Bitcoin forming the buy signal, but this signal is going to take time. Now, why I'm not very confident with this bounce, I'm not looking for a new high, for example, something like this, is because the volume, this time the volume is not my friend. As you can see here, the volume is below the center line. Following the rules, well, we are in negative territory, right? So there is no volume to push Bitcoin to the upside. Now, if we see that, it's going to be a wonderful sell opportunity. Why? Because there is no volume, and you will see a massive bearish divergence forming here, for example, right? If we see Bitcoin at 32, 23k, 34, even something like that, you will see a wonderful bearish divergence here in volume, and also Bitcoin maybe or something like this again. And from here, is even the crash is going to be worse. So what I want to see right now, of course, remember, one thing is what I want, what other things, well, the facts, right, in the chart. Something I would like to see is Bitcoin dropping right now. Yeah, dropping like this, right? Bouncing here and dropping. Why? Because this is gonna reset the charts. This is gonna reset the chart in higher time frames, and Bitcoin will hit maybe key levels around 22, 20k, around here, and from there you will see a stronger bounce. If we see Bitcoin bouncing here, I mean, like without stopping, right? Like just bouncing here, the crash is gonna be worse. Yeah, usually when I see these kind of things, boom, like this, right? You want to see an example? It's very simple. We can go to 2019, where Bitcoin was just pumping like a crazy. And after what happened? Bitcoin was just pumping without any corrections, without anything. And after that, after 6 months, Bitcoin tested the previous lows. You see here. So if you are bullish, I mean, if you are thinking, okay, we are in a real bull market, we don't want to see this kind of price action. We want to see something organic. We want to see something like a basement, something like you want to see Bitcoin forming a basement in the long term, something like this, right? Something like this, okay? Something like this, where Bitcoin is in sideways in accumulation phase, and after that, you will see an explosive move. Okay, that is the best way, at least in my opinion, to see a very strong bull market. Now, in weekly basis, you can see the same thing, right? Bitcoin was building a basement in between 2019 and 2020 from this point, you see. All this is not a bear market. I know, maybe for many people, this is a bear market, but it's not. Actually, it's not. It's just sideways in the macro timeframes, in weekly chart, where the top was this area around 12K and the bottom was 4K. You see, it's just support and resistance. After that, when Bitcoin broke this, it was for almost 1 year in sideways between May 2020 to October, sorry, around 7 months, around there, 6 months, and was in consolidation without moving, just maybe $500, whatever. And you can see here the volatility was contracting here. So when you see volatility contracting, you know the rules. Well, you will see an explosive move. If you see the volatility in blue here, in weekly chart, what it's telling you, a big move is coming. In this case, of course, to the upside. Now, what is happening right now here? Well, Bitcoin, we had similar setup right in 2022 when volatility was contracting here with bullish divergence, because I posted this chart in January, in December and January last year. We have bullish divergence from this point and this point, volatility contraction here. 1 second, let me show you here. Volatility contraction here. No, it's here. Yes. Here, as you can see here, this is the volatility contraction here. I said, okay, technically speaking, this is like this, right? I said it like in January, where the target should be the MI55 on 100, around $27,000 or 28, around there. Now we are here. Now we have the same setup right now forming. Be careful with this, because we have a volatility contraction here where Bitcoin is in the highs this time. Usually when you see this volatility contracting here in the highs, it's a bull trap in the macro timeframes. Let me show you why. If we have a sell signal right now, here volatility contraction here, usually what is going to happen? Well, you see like maybe 1 month in sideways, or maybe it depends, right? 2 weeks or almost 1 month, and after that to the moon, right? So careful here, because it's looking bullish, yes, but in the moment when you see the ADX negative here, because we will see it potentially this month, maybe the first week of May, you will see this reversing. Something like this, right? Something like this, right? And here you will see again social media, crypto experts and TikTokers, whatever, calling for 10K, 6K, 4K, 5K, right? People are like that. Just, I realize many people, they are just, many YouTubers, they are just, I don't know how exactly they are making profits with this, because, well, I don't know, who knows? Well, I don't care, honestly. The thing is, like, I can see last week I got, when Bitcoin was at $31,000, almost 31, I got like maybe 50 messages asking me like, hey, should I buy Bitcoin right now? Should I buy altcoins right now? And now with this drop, 0 message. So people are very, very emotional, and it's fine, because we need them. Remember, if you are here, is because you want to become a trader, right? So we need them. We need that smart people, smart people, right? Because without them, we cannot make profits. So you should be very happy to see people thinking in that way, like very emotional, very unstable. And it's very funny, because I was watching well, this is not about technical analysis, it's about something I was watching on Netflix, where one guy, he said, he's an expert about finance, and he said, trading is like gambling, and all the people will lose eventually. He is right in some point, but what is the reason? Is not big. I mean, the problem is not the trading itself. The problem is the people. People are very unstable, very emotional. And I have to tell you something. If you don't fix your life, think about, whatever you have. Your problem, personal problem, it could be your wife, it could be your job, it could be whatever. Um, you don't fix that kind of issues, you will lose in the markets because you will trade based on emotions, not based on the facts. Okay, and it's a very hard thing to do. Just few people they do that kind of things. For example, in my case, it took me many years. I lost, for example, when I lost in January because I was testing this system, right? I was almost 20K, right? Testing. But for me, it's fine. Why? Because for me, it's a long-term investment. Now, I recovered almost 50%. Very good, right? With a new system, with this system. And it's a process. It's a long-term, a long-run process. The problem is like many people, they want to buy Shiba Inu and they want to see green tomorrow, right? That is insane. It's possible, yes, but it's like you are buying a ticket for the lottery and just trying to be rich tomorrow. And that is very stupid. Usually lazy people, they are thinking in that way. Okay, so remember, I have just less than 1,000 subscribers, so I can say whatever I want. Maybe one day I will just pretend I'm very polite. But for now, I don't care. So the thing here, like, yes, I cannot be bearish here. It's looking, the Bitcoin in weekly chart is with a sell signal, yes, but still the ADX is positive, okay? I have to be very clear with this. So that's why I'm looking for sideways here. Yes, and usually this setup here takes maybe a couple of weeks. Maybe we will see Bitcoin at 29, 28, $30,000 just playing maybe for maybe all this month. And when you see the ADX turning negative is when a party is going to start and you will see finally the breakdown. So, and also the last thing here is like every time when we have this like golden cross, right? ME55 and ME21 here, very close. What happened in the past? Well, first of all, here was a real breakout, as you can see here, yes, to the moon, right? But the conditions are very different. When Bitcoin was tested here in 2019, the ME55, ME100 here, you see the momentum was still, curve was still in darker purple here. Yes, so the momentum was very good, you see? But here, no. Now we are testing here, well, Bitcoin is testing the ME55, ME100, but we are here with curve. So the momentum is not correct. So that's why what I'm doing right now is just, as an investor, right? As a trader, I am just trading as usual, but as an investor, I am watching, well, actually, I finished watching Breaking Bad. Now I am watching Better Call Saul. So that is a new TV show I'm watching right now. So the thing here is like, I am just taking my time. I am not rushing. That's why you will see in some point after we see this correction, when you see everything red here again, finally, my investing channel is going to be very active because I'm going to start posting the long term, looking for the long term altcoins, because actually I'm doing my homework. I didn't post anything right now because I want to see Bitcoin doing this first. And after that, yes, as an investor, I will start looking for, actually I have my own, I actually already have my 10 altcoins. Personally speaking, I will just buy maybe 3 or 4, no more than that, because I don't want to just buy many altcoins because it's very difficult to manage your portfolio, right? So that's why I like to play safe. Of course, well, buying altcoins is not very safe, but I think the last opportunity of this year, I can tell you in this way, potentially is coming here maybe in the next 3 months, maybe summer maximum, and potentially that is going to be the last time we will have to buy Bitcoin technically cheap and also altcoins. Okay, so don't rush. For me, it's totally fine. Now let's talk about the 2-day chart. Why 2-day chart is very important here? 2-day chart is about to do something very interesting here. To the chart, we have a better variance from this point and this point, as we can see, this point and this point, but technically speaking, what is happening? Nothing into the chart, nothing. Actually, Bitcoin is bouncing from the ME21. Technically speaking, Bitcoin is still bullish, even with the better variance here. So that's why I'm looking for a bounce here. Technically speaking, if you see Bitcoin testing 24 something like that, you will see a bounce also. Why? Because to the chart is going to show you potentially next month a buy signal here, and you will see a bounce. So that's why I said before, if we see Bitcoin at 20K, 22, it will take months, not tomorrow. It will take months, okay? Because it's a process, right? If we have here, let me show you here, 3D chart. We have a better divergence here in 3D chart. We have the confirmation here, but the volume here in OBB is healthy. So what is telling me this? Even if we see this better divergence in 3D chart, maybe it's not gonna be super strong like as you are thinking. Okay, that's why careful here with you are in short. You are looking for let's short 100x because the market is gonna crash. SP500 is gonna crash. I don't think so. I think yes, we will see a correction, but it's not gonna be very, very like deep, like oh my god, new lows, 10K. No. Honestly, for me, I will be very lucky. We are gonna be very lucky if we see Bitcoin at 17K again. Honestly, I don't think so. I think if we see this drop here, it's gonna be very fast. Maybe just a couple days there, and after that, we'll see a strong bounce. Honestly, I hope to be there because sometimes that happens. Now let's talk about the 5-day chart. 5-day chart we have 5-day chart we have here various divergence as you can see here, but what we have here, the volume the thing is the volume is healthy. Look at this. This is beautiful volume. So I cannot say the same thing as I said 2021. Careful here because Bitcoin is gonna crash to zero, right? Of course not. Bitcoin will not crash like that. This drop, again, for me, is going to be a big buy opportunity for me, right? For me. Remember, I am a financial advisor. But I cannot tell you the same thing as 2021. Remember, for all 2021, November 2021, and all 2022, I was what? I was saying Bitcoin is going to zero, Bitcoin is going to zero, right? Every time I was telling you, Bitcoin will crash, and people, no. This is the pullback. And now, people they ask, oh no, the bear market is here, the banks are crashing, blah blah blah. And now I'm telling you, no, Bitcoin will go up in the long term. That's it, you see? Why? Because volume is the most. And Bitcoin broke the seller line here in 5-day chart in January 2023 here with this breakout here. Automatically here, even if I have better divergence here in curve, because OBB is my lead indicator, I am not bearish. Of course, I am expecting a pullback, right? But that pullback should be a buy opportunity, okay? So now we have in 5-day chart, we have something very interesting here. We have here the confirmation, the golden cross. Remember, I don't trade golden cross and that cross, but it's interesting to see like what happened after that, right? You have here MA55, MA21 golden cross. It happens in March 17. And let me show you here what happened last time. Here we have a golden cross here, and after that Bitcoin was bouncing here. And after that here, for example, here we have a golden cross here, and after that Bitcoin major rally. So every time on Bitcoin, historically speaking, right, we have this golden cross. In the long term is good. In the long term, just one time was not that case. Where? Here in the Corona crash. We have this potential golden cross here, fake out, and after that crash, and finally after a real golden cross, and after that massive rally. Okay, so that's why everything, I mean, is looking bullish. It's looking good for Bitcoin. Okay, so let's continue. I'm gonna continue. This lesson is a little bit more about long term, because usually I am talking more about short term right now. So I think last time when I talk about long term was maybe, I mean like this, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I'm gonna upload later in my Patreon with more details about long term, because I think every 2 weeks, well, one time per month, it depends, right, the market conditions, but I'm posting an update in the long term for the next 3 months. I think the technical analysis for the Q1 of this year is done, and now I'm gonna post the for Q2 my projection for the next 3 months. So let me show you here the RSI here. The RSI here for long term. Okay, let me show you here. First of all, we don't have a bearish divergence in 5-day chart, as you can see here. So I cannot be like super bearish here. Now, what we have here, we don't have a bearish divergence in weekly chart in the RSI. And it's holding the moving average here. Now, even we see the break of this moving average here, as long as RSI, the RSI is above the 50 level, I am still bullish in weekly chart. Okay. Technically speaking, every time when Bitcoin is above the 50 level, 50 level, 50 level, let me show you here, 50 level here, 50 level here, 50 level here. Yes, above here, technically speaking, you have a strong bounces in the long term. So let me show you here. We have here 50 level. Let me show you here, 50 level here. Yeah, and another 50 level here. Yes, another 50 level. Let me show you here. We have this one, and now another 50 level here. We have this one. You see? So all of them, they are bullish. You see? They are bullish. So now we have here the 50 level here was broken here, of course, was broken here, and after that the pullback here testing the 50 level confirmation as support here. Yes, second test here, a couple tests here, and it's still trending to the upside. Now, potentially we will see a break in the long term. Yes, the moving average here, this moving average. But as long as it's about the 50 level, I am not bearish in weekly chart. Okay, I am not bearish in weekly chart. Why I'm showing you as many times with Rosario is because actually many people, especially when they are new in the live streams, they are newbies, the first thing they use is MACD and the RSI. It's the most common thing I see newbies or people without experience in the markets, they are using this kind of indicators, but it's fine. So now let's talk about the monthly here. The monthly here is doing something very interesting here. It's above the 50 level, well, technically testing the 50 level, but this close is critical for Bitcoin this month. If you see Bitcoin closing above here, the 50 level, right now is testing a little bit above there. Let me show you here. If you see, for example, here, Bitcoin, the close is a little bit more like this, a little bit. The bottom is already in. It's already in, and you will see, historically speaking, in the next 1 year and a half, almost 2 years, you will see Bitcoin in a massive, massive rally forming this. Let me show you here. You see, bull market, bull market, bull market, and bull market here. So I know the inflation, the banks, the recession, whatever. I don't care. Seriously, I really don't care. Okay, I'm showing you just the facts in the chart. Okay, that's it. It's up to you. You want to follow your emotions, so you want to follow the Fed, you want to follow. I don't care. It's just facts in the market. Now let me show you something else. Technically speaking, yes, what Bitcoin is. I mean, if we see this bounce here, I can tell you right now, this bounce based on the volume, this bounce in the next bull market is gonna be a major bull trap, right? Next year, but next year, not this year. Okay, so be careful here. If you are bearish right now, looking for new lows, I think, in my personal opinion, what I'm going to do right now is just I'm gonna get ready. Get ready for what? Accumulation. Okay, accumulation. I will be very happy if I can buy, of course, in a spot, in this case, Bitcoin at maybe $20,000, 22, whatever. Now, if I am totally wrong, for example, here, right, Bitcoin just crashed to zero here, I don't care. Why? Because, well, I will start, I will manage my risk, of course. Second thing here is like in the long term, I am looking for at least a macro bounce. For example, right, imagine like I am totally wrong and Bitcoin just crashed from this point and crashed to 10K. Right? I bought at 20K. Risk management is the most. First of all, I will not go all in. You know, people, they love to go all in, right? Especially when they made some money in crypto. Like, I made, I don't know, a lot of money, right? Cardano, Solana, I am millionaire. You know what? I'm going all in again because I want to repeat the same thing. Well, my friend, if you are thinking in that way, maybe you were lucky. That's it. Okay, because if your plan just was holding forever and ever, you didn't have a plan. You were just hoping and you were just lucky. But you are telling me, no, you know what? I bought Cardano, Solana, whatever, because I have a buy signal in the monthly chart and I sold at this level because blah, 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 blah. And after that, blah, blah, blah. And you are explaining you have a plan. Actually, you have a plan. Well, congratulations, because actually maybe it was not just because you were lucky, it's because actually you worked hard to do it. So The thing here is like risk management is the most, okay? Even if I see Bitcoin at 20K, in my case, I will never go all in because risk management is the most. Why? Because, for example, right, if I have, I don't know, imagine I have 10K, right? 10K. Why I'm talking about this? Because again, now the technical analysis for Bitcoin is done. Now you know my technical analysis. Now the next 25 minutes is gonna be just about a little bit about education. Imagine I have 10K, right? Okay, Bitcoin drops here to maybe $20,000, and I bought maybe 25% of my capital, right? For investing, not trading, investing. So I buy here, right? Okay, so I buy here and I wait for the weekly chart because it's weekly chart. Like I will start looking for a next entry here. Let's do this in the weekly chart. I'm gonna repeat the same exercise in the weekly chart. Yes, something like this. Imagine Bitcoin just crash or drop like to 20K, right? So I have 10K here, 10K. So here I will buy just 25% of my capital. 25%. Okay, so after that, Bitcoin, I have to wait, right? If I follow the rules, I have to wait maybe other 3 months here, like 3 months. And if I see the buy signal confirmation here, I will buy maybe more. Why? Because we have the buy signal confirmation, and this is gonna trigger Bitcoin to the upside, right? It's fine. But just in case, if Bitcoin crash here and drops here, crash, I will not buy here 15, 17K again. No, I will not buy a 14K. I will not buy here. Why? Because I am very smart and I will apply the DCA, yes, but in a smart way. How? It's not like I'm gonna just buy every weekend $200. That's very stupid way. On Netflix, I can see that kind of stuff, right? You buy $100 every month from your paycheck in 20 years, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, never mind. The thing here is like, if we apply DCA in a smart way, of course, I think there are better ways to do it, but I will show you my way, okay? My way. And for this DCA, the only thing I'm gonna use is just volume profile. It's the only thing I will use. That's it. I don't need anything else. Imagine you're not a trader, you have no idea what you are doing. Well, my friend, you have just one indicator, volume again, and potentially areas where you can apply the DCA strategy. First of all here, well, let me show you. We have key levels here. We have this one, you see, here around 20K, you see. So we have this one, okay? So if you see Bitcoin testing against this box, well, 25% of your portfolio, your capital is here. Okay, good. Bitcoin crash more, right? And the next area is this one and this one, okay? The second buy is around 11K, okay? 25%. You see? Now we have 50%. And now the next level, let me show you here, is around between $10,000 and 7. Okay, I'm gonna buy the next 25%, yes, at maybe 10K. And you see a week, the last point is around, well, in a very extreme case, honestly, I don't think we will see Bitcoin at $5,000, $6,000. I don't think so. The rest of my capital, right? 25%. And you see, I am using the volume profile here, volume profile to buy, not like every 5%, every 3%. That is shit. Sorry. That is garbage. No, the thing here is that you are gonna buy is you have a reason to buy there. Okay, you have a reason. Technically speaking, why volume? Why volume is because they are okay. Volume profile is telling you the places or the areas, where traders they were doing more transactions. So you can think, okay, so if we see this volume here, like a lot of volume, that means a lot of people they were interested to buy here around 10K and 7K or 7K, right? And also people are very interested to buy at 20K and 18K. But you see here, because I know you are very smart, right? What is happening here? All this area, let me remove this. all this area, there is no volume. You see? So around $20,000, 22 is the area of interest. You see? Here, all this area. And this area, because there is no volume here, as you can see, there is no volume, nothing. Well, my friend, that is your area for selling. Do you understand? Less volume here, that means less interest for all the people. So, well, every time when Bitcoin is, imagine, right? It's dropping here, and after that is pumping to the moon, 1 million. The next hidden gem, you will see TikTokers, NFTs, AI tokens. You will see that kind of shit. Again, TikTokers selling you whatever, right? Million token to the moon, right? Million token AI, right? Something like that. I don't know. And you will see here, using facts, well, this is the area for selling. So every time when Bitcoin is pumping or any asset is a sell opportunity, not a buy opportunity. So DCA is applied only when the market is dropping, not when the market is pumping, because I can see many people they are, I bought at 20K, and after that I bought at 25K, and after that I bought at 30K. So they are doing the opposite. I mean, they are, well, I think you got the point. So what I'm saying this, because I think we will have the next opportunity very soon, in the next 3-4 months. So, well, in one day chart, for example, in one day chart, where is the area of interest? You want to, if I am right with this, right? The lowest point I can see Bitcoin at 20K, right? Okay, so where is the next area to buy Bitcoin in a spot in the long term, looking for a potential, maybe even holding, right? Maybe or 2024. Okay, if you're looking for one day chart, the next area of interest is at 24K. You see? Using DCA. So your first buy should be here, not here. No, thank you. Imagine you have your 10K here, right? So, I have 10K. I want to invest in Bitcoin, right? Okay. So you don't have, you cannot buy here because this is resistance, right? All these areas, area of supply. Supply, where you can see this is resistance. No, thank you. So you see Bitcoin dropping here. The first buy should be around here, around 24K. The second buy should be around 24K, and the second buy should be around 20K, and the last buy should be around 17K. You see? And that is the way how you can use DCA. Okay. I hope this, my way of doing when I am investing, right, helps you to fix maybe some potential problems you have when you're thinking about investing. Now, the second point, let me see, what time is it right now? We have, 10 minutes is the timing. The timing. The next 10 minutes, I'm gonna explain what is the timing for trading. Okay, first of all, here in average, right? It depends on your asset. It's not like the rules. It depends on the volatility of many assets. For Bitcoin, just for Bitcoin and altcoins, the average setup for one day chart is 10 days. Yeah. So, for example, you see the buy signal here, right? In curve, right? Curve here. From this point here to this next sell signal, in average is 10 days, maximum 2 weeks. Yes. Weekly chart usually is around 3 months, 4 months. Yeah. For example, here right now, the buy signal was in January, and now we're in April here. In this case, was almost 4 months. Yes, and we have a sell signal here, and the monthly chart is around 1 year, minimum 6 months, maximum 1 year and a half. So the thing here is like, okay, what kind of trader you are? Yeah, you are a gambler. Go to 5-minute chart and just keep wasting your time and losing your money and energy. If you are smart, well, maybe you will realize. Maybe you will realize, like, maybe you want to have time, right, for your family. You want to have a life, right? So it's better minimum for trading 4-hour chart. Minimum, right? 4-hour chart. 1-hour chart for me is no way, no thank you. Even 4-hour chart for me right now is like getting too much. I think now I'm thinking seriously to start trading just 12-hour chart and 1-day chart. That's it. The thing is why? Because, well, I don't want to just watch my chart, keep watching my chart all the time, all day. No, it's not fun. The thing here is like, well, now, first of all, you have to define what kind of trader you are. you see yourself like a long term, because you are busy, you are working, you have family, you don't have time to watch all the time the charts. Well, it depends, right? For example, you have a 95 job, a 95 job. You wanna see, okay, I don't have time, so I strongly recommend at least one day chart. Maybe it should be fine for you, where you have to wait for each trade at least 10 days. 10 days. But you said, no, I am long term. I also am very emotional, right? So weekly chart, 3 months. That means like if you buy here, for example, right? You buy here, following the rules of the system you are learning, or you are trying to learn, or well, in this case, for example, my system, you will have to wait 3 or 4 months. Okay. For example, if you bought here in March 2019, here, well, do whatever you want to do, and see you in the next 3 or 4 months. And after that, in July, you will see potential sell signal here. Here, what I do here, when I buy in weekly chart, every 2 weeks, I like to see the chart. For example, in 2020 here, in 2020, what I did is something like personal I like to do, is when I saw this signal here with the system right here, right? And I bought the first buy, of course, I bought 4K, and the second buy was at $11,000 around there, 10 something, like 10,000 something. And what I did, well, I didn't do anything. Just, I mean, as investor, right? I said, well, I will wait for the next 3 months. So it's like in October, maybe November, December, I will start looking for something, right? Maybe. So what I did here, okay, is October, November, December, okay. But as you can see here, in this case, the ADX is positive here. The green was very good, no better variance. I decided just to keep holding my positions. OBB was super healthy, beautiful here, wonderful here. And I said, okay, I will wait for another 3 months because this is healthy. It will take time. So what happened? Well, from this point around here, October, November, December, and January here, I decided to wait a little bit more time here, another 3 months. And after that, yes, I saw Bitcoin in maybe February, March, forming this sell signal here. And it's when I decided to close my position from this point. But how long? Almost a lot of time, right? October 2020, April 2021. So that is the thing when you are investing in the long term. Weekly chart, even monthly, it depends, right? So you have to define yourself, to know yourself, like, okay, what kind of trader I am? I am an investor, I'm trading, I have time, I don't have time, okay? So if you buy here, for example, right now here, because 4-hour chart is looking green by signal, and you're looking for 40K, you are wasting your time, yeah? Because that is one of the most important, biggest mistakes actually people they do. Like they buy in 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart, and they are thinking, from here, for example, right? If someone bought here, right, is in long position right now here at $27,400, 500, they are thinking, okay, I'm gonna hold my position here because you know what? To the moon, right? 30K. Automatically they are getting greedy. And you know what? Well, many times, of course, not always, but what happened here? Many times I saw this. People, I want to hold my position here because, from here to the moon, 1 million, right? And after that, the market just crashed here and they get wrecked because actually they don't have even risk management. So what I do to fix this is very simple. If my target is the MI55, it's done. That's it. I take profits. I don't care. Yeah, if that is my target. If I know my technical analysis in 4-hour chart, yes, because technically speaking, let's talk about facts, right? We don't have a buy signal in 1-day chart, not yet. It will take maybe all this weekend, okay? So very easy, Bitcoin just can drop to $27,000 again, right? We don't have a crystal ball here. I am not Dr. Strange, but I follow rules. So because now we know the time, right? Tell me, do you see a buy signal here? No. So if you follow the rules, you will have to wait. So what is this bounce? Well, let me show you here. Well, in 4-hour chart, yes, we have a setup here. So this is a bounce in 4-hour chart. Bullish divergence here from this point and this point, a bounce. Now the question is, the trade is good. Yes, you are making profits. Congratulations. Now, when you have to close this, Well, the answer is very simple. You have two options. The first option, you protect your entry. Yes. You delete the losing scenario of your on your trade. I mean, the worst thing is you will not make any profits. Or you follow the rules. You know this is ME55 and the setup is just 4 hour chart. Right now, this moment, right now, this is the moment to take profits. Right now. No question asked. Just follow the rules and just take your profits. That's it. But it's very funny because if Bitcoin just keeps pumping here, right? The same trader now is complaining. Why? Because he's not making more profits. Do you understand? Like, oh my God, why I closed my position? My position was so good. I could make more, right? So the trader is never, he is never happy. He is not happy because he's losing money, but he is not happy as well because he's not making enough when he's making profits. You see? No offense, but you are thinking this way. Maybe you are like a girl, very emotional, right? So sorry for saying this, but well, you know me, right? You know me. So, well, the thing here is like you have to follow the rules. For example, in this case, what I did here, I was in long position here, but honestly, yesterday I was super tired. I have a very stressful day. I know mentally speaking, I was not ready to keep holding this position because I need to manage my risk, blah, 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 blah. What I did here, I closed my position. I lost because I canceled this position. I lost like $300. I don't care. Why? Because think about this. If this could be a phase signal, for example, instead of just crashing, right? And because I am tired, I couldn't manage my risk. Maybe today, if Bitcoin just crash, instead of losing $300, maybe I will lose 4K, 3K, 5K. Understand? So that's why when I think in this way, okay, I prefer to lose maybe just $200 instead of just potentially, because I don't feel well, yeah, potentially maybe lose even more. I was right with this technical analysis. Yes, I was not. I was honestly tired. That's why one of my rules is when I don't feel well, I just cancel my trades. I don't trade. That's it. I don't force myself. And right now here, you see, we have here, this is resistance, right? This is resistance, ME55, 100 to the moon, right? No, of course not. You see, risk management is the most. You cannot win all time. You cannot win all time, and you will never win all time. Never. Never. If you know a guy who, no, I am making 100% profits, he is lying to you. Because real traders will take losses many times. But in the long term, our wins are more than our losses. Okay, that is the key. Risk management. Okay, so the last thing, we have just 5 minutes here, 5 minutes left for this. The last component here is like people, they don't understand what is price action. Even they don't know what is price action. This is a question someone's asked me. They were asking me about, well, okay, so for example, right now here we have the chart here. One guy said, how I know if I am good reading price action? Okay. Right now, without any indicators, maybe you are allowed to use just one indicator, just one. Tell me what is going to be the next direction for Bitcoin right now. It's going to be like this, it's going to be like this, or it's going to be like this. What? Okay. If you don't know the answer, of course, the point is like you will never be right. But the thing here is like, if you know what is price action, at least you will get an idea. If you don't know, and you need all of this thing, yeah, moving average and all the stuff, is because you don't know price action. Yeah. So it will take years, and it's very difficult. And it's one of the skills, like it will take years for many traders to actually do it. For example, right now here, there are many ways to do it, right? Just in the last 4 minutes, I'm going to explain this. It's very simple. Many traders, they like to, well, that's why in a classic technical analysis, you will see something like this, right? Oh, you know what? This is my channel, or it could be for other people. It could be yes, it's a channel here, or this one, it could be maybe something like this, right? Something like this, right? It depends of the book you are reading. Why I don't use this kind of things is because it's your imagination, right? I mean, for me, this is like this, right? But maybe for your friend, it's gonna be like this, right? It's gonna be like this. Or maybe for your TikToker is gonna be like this, right? It's gonna be like this. So who is right? Even I saw something like this. Who is right? Who knows, right? Because it's just your imagination. So what I do here instead is I try to identify areas of confluence. Yeah, I call it like confluence, where you see many transactions. For example, this area, as you can see here, Bitcoin was in sideways from May to June, 1 month here. You see? So this is an area of confluence, potentially, yes. So if we see the long term, for example, we see one day chart here, what we have here, we have here, 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 weeks, right? So in the past, this area was a very strong support. Plus confluence here, well, it's very easy. I can just say, okay, many newbies, they like to do this, right? Oh, you know, my line is powerful. One line here, resistance line. This is my resistance. If you're doing this thing, of course, it's garbage. Why? Because the line is not the resistance. The area is the resistance. All this area is the resistance. All this area is the resistance. You see? So instead of using lines, you can use areas. For example, TradingView has very good tools. You can use, let me show you here one of them I like to use sometimes when I use in just price action. What is the, we can use a rectangle, but there is one tool like actually is better. Yeah, parallel channels here. For example, here, if I know here this area is a confluence here, yes, and this area is a top here, I can tell you here, well, all this area is my area of supply. I mean selling. Why? Because here it was support before, now it should be resistance. You see? The middle line here, the middle line usually is 50%. Yes. Well, Fibonacci levels, remember? If I draw here from this point and this point, you will see the Fibonacci level is around there, 50 level, 6.18. So if I show you here the parallel channel, why is very important? Because the 50 level is 50% and 6.18, as you can see here. I never show this kind of technical analysis because it's more advanced. Usually I teach just in my live streams this kind of things. Why? Because it's like for many people, I think it's better. They just follow indicators. It's much better. It's easier. But if you are thinking you are ready for this kind of things, well, you have here your live stream. So as you can see here, this parallel channel. And what is this? From the bottom here of this the wicks, right, to the top of the resistance on this area, Bitcoin just tested the 6.18, as you can see here, and after that just crash. So it is an area. Okay, the resistance is an area, it's not a line. That is the point. Okay, so you can do the same thing here in the bottom. For example, here we have here Bitcoin is here, some weeks here. Sorry, we have here confluence. All this area we have confluence here. We have here a test here. When you see it's a very, very strong support, usually just one test and after that strong bounce. So when you see this price action here, very strong bounce from this point, that is telling you it's a very, 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 very strong support. So around $19,000 and $21,000. So if I do the same thing here, from this point, where are the wicks here? Yeah, to this area around here. This is telling me this area, yeah, this area is the strongest support right now Bitcoin has using just price action here, yeah, from $21,000 to 100 to $18,000. And the middle line, you see where is the middle line? You see, Bitcoin tested here again the 50%. If I do again the Fibonacci levels, what is this level? Yeah, let me show you here. Bitcoin tested again the 6.18. Oh, around there, almost there. You see? I mean, usually I don't, as I said before, I don't show this kind of technical analysis because it's a little bit more advanced. But well, this is gonna take years for you to understand. But I don't want to make it more complicated. That's why always I use this system, because it's easier to read the colors, right, than this. But yes, this kind of technical analysis is very useful for when you are using just VWAP system, because you have to be familiar with these kind of things. At this point in my life, I can do it automatically, yes, but I mean, it took many years. Right now, here, what is doing this? Well, the technical analysis is telling me, well, this Bitcoin is testing this line here, the bottom of this range, and usually you will see Bitcoin testing again the middle line here around maybe $29,000, 30K. You see, with just price action. We can do the same thing in 4-hour chart. We can do the same thing in 1-hour chart. We can do exactly the same thing. But honestly, I don't recommend you to do that. Why? Because it's going to be very stressful, and you really have to practice a lot. Now, in the long term, you can do the same thing in weekly chart. The rule is, where is the area of confluence? Okay, for example, here, where is the area of confluence in the macro timeframes? Well, we have, of course, we have this area, right? We have this area, but in weekly chart, we have the top here. So if Bitcoin is going to enter in reversal here, I mean, it's going to reverse a trend, the top here, this high here, around $45,000, is the area Bitcoin must break. Why? Because the rule is just like, well, when this high is higher than the previous one, well, you will have a pullback usually, but this is an indication of reversals. So in this area, in this price action from 2021 and 2023, there are just few areas of interest I am looking for. First of all is this one, right? From $29,500 to $32,000 around here. Yes, around this area, 21 around there. And the second area in the long term should be from this point, you see, around, let me show you here. We have the basement here, you see. We have this basement, you see, and the top is around here. So this year, based on technical analysis, of course, I am looking for Bitcoin maximum around $45,000, no more than that, around this box, in the long term, of course. So in the long term, of course, to the downside, as I said before, this area, right? This area from this point and this point. And if this area breaks, where is the next area of confluence? You have 10 seconds to think. Where below here, you have to understand something. There is nothing to support Bitcoin here. It's an empty space. So there is no confluence, right? It's no support. Below 16K, 17K, around there, there is no support. The next area of confluence is this area, right? From this point, as you can see here, we have a basement here, yes, and also we have 1, 2, 3, many touches here. You see, many points here. So we have 2 points. So the first point should be around between $12,000, and the bottom should be around 10K. And the second one should be between $6,000, yeah, here, $6,000, and potentially maybe around $7,000. And you can see with this exercise, you can, okay, finally, is more about support and resistance. And why I am using volume profile. Why? Because volume profile is telling you the same thing. You see? Volume profile is telling you the same thing. Here, support. Well, resistance here, support. You see? Volume profile is telling you the same thing. Now, I think finally everything makes sense for you. Why I'm using volume profile. And instead of just drawing my rectangles, my areas, I can use volume profile. But it's very important for you. You need to understand why. Yeah. Practice. You can practice. If you do this, well, finally you will start understanding. And one thing, the last thing of this live stream, I can tell you right now, if you are using vertical like diagonals like this, right? Your lines like this, or you're using something like this, or you are using something like this, the only thing is going to happen is just you are going to just get wrecked. Why? you need to understand something. Trading is about business. It's a business, okay? Market makers, they know you see a bullish divergence in the RSI. Market makers, they know you see a MACD buy signal. Market makers, they know you see a triangle. You see a rectangle. Do you understand? So the most like the I remember very well the even I mean this guy for me was a little bit more professional. I got disappointed honestly when I saw this guy doing this, right? Massive triangle, and he was calling for 100k, 150k, doing this. Okay, and it was very funny because exactly here I was in short. He was calling for 120, 130, even more. But in that time, you see Twitter, in that time, many traders, they were looking for this pattern. You see, this pattern is bullish to the moon, consolidation, something like that, right? And that is the problem. Market makers, they know this, okay? You have to learn classic technical analysis, and I think it's a very good idea. Buy a book in Amazon, watch some YouTube videos, and they will teach you all the things you shouldn't do. Search what is a trend line, something like this, right? Search what is a triangle. No, they will tell you, they will teach you descending triangle, symmetrical triangle, rainbows, whatever, right? You have to learn. Actually, I think it's very good. And when you finish learning that kind of things in Udemy, right? Okay, you can say to yourself, okay, I learned all the things I shouldn't do. Because it's very important. You need to understand what the majority of the people they are watching. Okay? You see? I think my technical analysis, of course, is not perfect, but it works. And second thing is like, just I'm sharing what I learned after almost 10 years. Okay, guys. So I think the last thing I'm gonna show you here is about the stock market. The stock market is moving. It's doing exactly the same thing. The weekly chart is still the same in weekly chart. So if you see a bounce here in weekly chart, I think it's gonna be a sell opportunity in one day chart. Let me show you here. That's why I hate stock markets, because it's not moving always. This is gonna be a bounce in maybe next week. Seller line is about to be tested here. You will see a bounce here, potentially here, where the target should be maybe around 4,500, sorry, 100, 200, around there. And this area, my friend, no thank you, no way, it's not with me, because this is gonna just trigger the sell signal to the downside, okay? So I think that's it, guys. That's it. Let me see the comments, because I don't see comments right now. Kevin, hello, Kevin, welcome. Do you think alts will make new lows if Bitcoin hits? I think so, yes. Some of them, not all, but I think some of them, yes. For example, one of them is DOT, for example, right? Let me show you here. DOT, I bought DOT like in January, and the performance was terrible actually for me, right? Let me show you here one of them. Where is DOT? Dot. Oh my God, where is DOT? Okay, never mind. So DOT. Okay, here. Let me show you here the weekly chart. All the altcoins, you can choose your altcoin, the altcoin you want, and all of them, they have the same signature. They have the same signal, sell signal. So you're thinking to buy, you will have to wait maybe a couple months. The thing here is like DOT, when Bitcoin started this rally, even with a bullish divergence, as you can see here, bullish divergence here. Yes, that's why I bought DOT in that time. I bought that around maybe 480 in a spot, and I closed around almost $7, almost there, around here. As you can see here, the bounce was just 46, 45. It was a very decent bounce, but it was not enough to change the trend. Now we have a sell signal here. Now, if Bitcoin starts crashing here, DOT, for example, in this case, you can apply the same thing to many altcoins, because many of them, they have the same setup here. In this case, DOT has a very, very, very key level, is around 5.75 cents. Any close below there, of course, with help of Bitcoin, you will see DOT maybe testing again 4.26 and even around 3.50. The good thing here is like you will see that potentially maybe the sell pressure is going to be even less, and you will see 3 strikes of bullet divergence. That is the setup I'm looking for altcoins in the long term. Of course, maybe in summer. For example, Neo, right? Neo said, no, thank you. This is going to take time, right? Months maybe, but you will see the drop here. So, but the thing here is like the difference between DOT and Neo is like, look at the rally here. It's around 150. So what is this telling you? Well, there is a very good chance Neo in the long term, right? Maybe around 6, around there. Maybe it's going to be a very good thing to buy in the long term. So now let's talk about Cardano. Cardano, you know, fanboys on Cardano. Cardano, for me, think about this, right? We have the bull market, not bull market, the bounce for Bitcoin in January, and Cardano just pump. Well, the pump was just 50%. In the micro terms, it's almost nothing. We have a sell signal right now here. So the thing here is like Cardano looks like it's forming a basement, but I want to see it first. If we see Bitcoin dropping here with this close last week, there is a very good chance you will see Cardano at 0.30 cents. The thing here is like, honestly, in my case, I really don't like the chart of Cardano, honestly. I respect like all the people, they are bullish. The thing here is like, if you use a very simple Fibonacci level here, Fibonacci levels, the only reason why Cardano is bouncing here is because found support in 618 Fibonacci level. Now, more times you see this level tested, there is a very good chance you will see a break. So you don't want to see Cardano at 25 cents, okay? If you see Cardano 25 cents, you will see a break to 0.10. That's it. So if you are bullish, yes, you can see Cardano 0.30 cents, and you will have to wait for the next buy signal in the next 3 months, something like this, right? Something like this. Plus Cardano not making new lows. That's very important. And yes, potentially the next target will be 0.76, okay? But in the long term, in months. So I think in the next 3 months, I think we will have a very good opportunity for altcoins on the market, I think, my humble opinion, to buy again. Well, if you are not in my investing channel, well, good luck for you, because you know what? I will post there, and well, I will not post here. Yeah. I have to respect people, they are supporting me in Patreon. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and see you in the next live stream. And well, I'm gonna upload a short video about 4-hour chart for Bitcoin in a couple of minutes, I think. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you next time.